Mother Tara of perfect enlightenment of the three kayas, please protect us. Okay, so that's the root text. Then we have a commentary. So our mind nature is the same as a space. It is empty, which is beyond all conceptual limits. It does not inherently exist. Can you accept that? The supplication Tara, everyone I know easily accept, but we go to where of Bodhisattva wisdom chapter, then hard to accept. So this just a very simple way to introducing, not debating. One reason I think also not using the logic, and then just we say mind is empty, yeah, emptiness. Then whole mind is emptiness. Then you have to use the logic, investigate, analyze. Then harder to accept, right? So now everyone accept, yeah, your mind is beyond all conceptual limits, does not inherently exist. Do you think mind is not exist inherently? Okay. So that's we know mind is not any place located. If mind is permanent, so mind cannot receive the object too. Because you can see the object, the reason is mind is not exist. Not exist means like not inherently exist. The reality of all condition phenomena is not different from that. Then subject mind is not inherently exist. The same is like that. Object also reality of all condition phenomena is not different from that. Means all this object of phenomena also not inherently exist. All this object also same is space, same as space, emptiness. So all of these conditional things are the same as our mind nature. All this object, phenomena, they are all inherently not exist, same as our mind nature. Subject, mind is not exist, same is like that, or the object, phenomena also not exist. Same our mind nature. Everything is emptiness, so that means nothing is permanently inherently exist. Whatever we perceive this relative truth is exist in the relatively, but not absolutely. If something exists absolutely, then when you analyze, you use logic, investigate, you have to find, but we cannot find anything permanently inherently exist. So you know so that then it's, you know, everything's emptiness, you recognize that, then we meditate, one day we realize emptiness. So then this object is not distracting. This all the phenomena is not distraction, anything. It's all we understand in reality truth. Everything is emptiness, nothing permanently inherently exists. So all of these objects also do not exist. They are the same as the subject. Subject mind is emptiness, same like that object also emptiness. Then why you think we have this phenomena exist for us? Because it's a delusion. We have very strong karmic imprints, strong habitual. That's why everything is rare for us. But who has meditated emptiness, then does seeing this object is not exist for them. That's why there's many the realizer, especially realizes emptiness, this object is not exist for them. Many realizers, when you are into the natural state, then they touch some object, they also get handprint. And if this realizes in the meditated natural state, emptiness, nature, so then they get, feet print in the ropes. Also, they can go through the, even local inside, they can go outside, go through the outside because this object is no block for them. That kind of so many stories. So I share many times already. The one we talk about, see Shantideva, he also realized that's the reason he can share the way of Bodhisattva, the kind of teaching is, someone actually only study, they cannot get like that kind of knowledge. The knowledge all is come from through the realize and also the practice Yadam-deti. So then same is like this Maya Minka, teachers, mostly they are realizers. So we share the Chandrakirti story too. Chandrakirti can draw milk from draw cow, he can get milk from draw cow, Chandrakirti. And Shantideva, he can flew in the sky, despaired, emptiness. So like that, many realizer has that kind of abilities. Then you go to Milarepa stories, it's same like that. Many stories Milarepa has. Also, Garchi Rinpoche's teacher, Chimi Dorje, to top is yogi. He has a footprint in Gar Monastery. It's very clear, beautiful. All the feet, everything details in the rocks. So one day maybe you go there, you can see. And then they say also he cannot lock up in the present because he can that time put in the present. He got just outside, and this object is no anything distract for him. He can go outside. So like that kind, they have many stories, the realizers. So that's the reason this is not only in the teachings or everything's emptiness. So realizers have that already, proving for the realization, through realization, this object is not distract, they not exist for them. There are many stories like that. But there are disciples on the path who do not realize it. So actually, see, all these phenomena, subject, object, are emptiness, but we don't recognize that, we don't realize that. We don't recognize this. Why we don't recognize? Because due to obscurations, karmic imprint is very strong, habituate is very strong. So we have, that's why even this object is emptiness, but we don't recognize. That is the reason we then supplicate Mother Tara of perfection and enlightenment of the Trikayas, please protect us. So that's why we ask supplication Tara and help us and protect us. Even everything is not really exist, but we don't have that recognized. Then who has that recognized? Tara has that realization. We don't have that realization. That's why we supplication to Tara, ask her to help realize the same issue you have. Supplicate Mother Tara of perfect enlightenment of the Trikayas. So then the Tara has Trikayas inseparable, and we ask, please protect us. Enlightenment is the Trikayas. So Tara is enlightened being. Enlightened beings has Trikayas. So Trikaya is inseparable, not separate. We talk about like secret level. Trikaya means your mind emptiness is Dharmakaya. Your mind nature clarity is Sambhonakaya. Clarity, emptiness, inseparable is called Namanakaya. So that all is within our own mind. Trikaya is. That is the for secret level Trikayas. So we have that Trikayas, the Dharmakaya, Sambhonakaya, and the Namanakaya. We supplicate to the enlightened Buddha, Dharmakaya, Sambhonakaya, Namanakaya. So we supplication to Buddha means we supplication to Trikayas. The reason we do this is because we don't recognize absolute true Dharmakaya. Why we have to supplication to Buddha? Because we don't recognize absolute true Dharmakaya. We have absolute truth Dharmakaya, absolute true nature. We don't recognize that. That's why we supplication to Tara. Absolute true Dharmakaya is the same as space. So same as space is like the only one example is the absolute true has Trikayas qualities. So the same as space means only same as the space is like in example is the same as Dharmakaya. So emptiness part is the same as space. You realize what this means when you look into your mind nature. Your mind nature does not inherently exist. So we already talked that our mind is not inherently exist. So here, main point is we have to meditate. So when you meditate, then you have to log into your mind nature. So log to our own mind nature is not easy because we always have conceptual thoughts all the time. So that's why it's hard to see our own mind nature. If you really wanted to log into our own nature mind, first we have to practice shamatha meditation. So have to release thoughts, create our mind is stable. Then you go into Vipassana. So when you go into Vipassana, you don't use the subject object means you don't focus on any object. Go to Vipassana, you free from focus with the object, free from focus with the breath. So let go, focus with the object. And then your mind, the awareness, mindful, looking into your own mind, watching your own mind. So actually mind didn't have a subject object, but your mindful awareness recognize your own nature. So the mindful awareness, watch your own mind, and look to your nature. That time then your awareness recognize your mind is present. It's present means free from thoughts. If you have thoughts, then you go to past or future. So mind cannot be present, and your mind is free from thoughts. Your mind, mindful awareness, watch your mind is present. Your mind is present. So that present is also not inherently exist. Same as a space, it's emptiness. But that emptiness is always there clearly. That means no nothingness is present. So then that present clear is empty, empty present is clear. So you just recognize that and just then be in that awareness, with awareness. So that is the, we meditating. Means like looking into natural mind, meditating Mahamudra means. Also we call meditate special insight meditation. So you really see your own natural mind. That is just if you know, not that hard to understanding, but hard to be in that nature. Because our minds always follow the, dualistic thoughts, conceptual thoughts, easily got out to the natural mind. Go out the thoughts, follow the thoughts. So this it's kind of like easy, but it's very hard to get in there. It's really needed to balance something, balance. So cannot be too tight, cannot be too loose, right? You need to balance. Your mind also cannot be too tight, cannot be too loose. You need to balance and find that is like just how to say that, just different, like kind of you just using like your mind for awareness is recognized, be in that nature, but easy to go out because it's arise thoughts easily. So then you realize that that means when you look into your mind nature, your mind nature does not inherently exist. You recognize that it does not exist. When your mindful awareness looking into your nature, so mindful awareness looking into our own nature, you recognize that self does not exist. So when you recognize, then I and self is not exist. When you into the natural mind, when we meditate, so hard to be in that nature, hard to maintain our practice, because due to our conceptual thoughts, delusion. So not used to also, not used to. It's already so strong karmic imprint habit to mind is follow the thought. That's why it's when we maintaining this meditation, they talk about 3 different examples. I think I share many times for you. So that 3 example is very important. They also help to you. First we have to recognize. So recognize is the same as someone you knows. When you see the person, you right away you recognize, okay, that is that person. So when you see the person, you know that what the characteristics the person. So everything you recognize, okay, that person. So like that, when you meditate, thoughts, emotion, whatever arise, we have to recognize. The problem is we don't recognize. When we meditate, thought, emotion comes, we don't recognize. So that's why recognize same is the someone you know, like that. When thought, emotion arise, you right away recognize. That is the first important. The second is thoughts, emotion arise, no rejecting, no accepting. So thoughts, emotion arise, let arise, but not follow that. And so that means thoughts, emotions, not distracting. Even they arise, but they're not distract. They don't distracting your meditation. So same is like thief go to empty house. Thief go to empty house. Nothing going to there get you. Nothing lose. So that is the same as like whatever thoughts, emotion arise, no rejecting, no accepting. Okay, so thought, emotion is not any distract to your meditation. That is the second, method maintaining your awareness. Third is same as we talk about the snake. Snake knock the own, but also unknock the own. So you don't have to try to unnut or unnut something. The snake. Snake is long, so then naturally the nut and they release their own. So you don't have to put effort to unknock. Do you understand? That's correct, or my English?
Not.
Unknot.
Unknot.
So we don't untie our thoughts? Is that what you mean? Like
the snake.
They're tied in a knot.
Yeah, the snake. But not unknot, it should be untie is proper English, right?
I think whatever.
Anyway, sorry, doesn't matter.
Which is a proper? Teach me English first.
I think when there's a knot and you undo it, you untie it, or you undo it. Actually, not unknot it. Undo, undo,
snake,
untie.
Snake, you don't have to knot, right? Snake is their own just knot and naturally their own release. Okay, so then example means when thoughts, emotion, whatever arise, don't apply any antidote. So then what do you have to do? Thoughts arise, recognize, watch the thoughts. Thought itself is emptiness. Then it is release their own nature. So that means thought is liberated into the Dharmakaya. So you apply some antidote, then you lose your meditation state. Then you already become maybe in the intellectual part, but you are not in non-conceptual meditation. Then your mind is already wandering, and maybe you apply some effort or something you're going on there. So like that, then emotion arise. So which kind of emotion doesn't matter, whatever emotion arise. So you have to see, first of course you have to recognize, and then no rejection, no accepting. Your mind, awareness, look into the emotion. So emotion is become object of your meditation. So you see that emotion itself is not exist. It is rootless, groundless, it is emptiness. So that means emotion is transformed into the wisdom. So that's where it's like 5 wisdoms arising. We talk about 5 wisdom. Example, anger arise. So you recognize anger is arise. You don't have to reject. You don't have to accept. Then what you have to do? You look to the anger. That anger itself is rootless, groundless, is emptiness, is naturally release its own nature, means dissolve into the emptiness. So that wisdom is called mirror like wisdom. It's called mirror like wisdom. So then it's become called Buddha Vajrasattva. So like that, the 5 Buddha is associated with in these 5 afflictive emotions. So If you don't liberate emotions, then emotions. Yes, you don't liberate the thought. Thought is a thought. It's emotions negative, thought is negative. Okay, you liberate thought and emotions. Thoughts, emotion are not negative. Thought, emotion is cause of wisdom. So that's the only yoginis can do that have that level practice. But our beginners, if we don't have enough practice shamatha meditation, not possible to watch the emotion and the thoughts. So then what we have to do, we have to reject in thoughts and the emotions. Not accept, it means stop the thought emotion, not follow the thought emotions. We have to reject emotion thoughts. If we don't reject emotion and the thoughts, then when emotion thoughts arise, you follow that. The emotion thoughts control us. So then, if you don't reject emotion thoughts, when thought emotion arise, just recognize, oh, I have thoughts emotions. Only use first method. Recognize, let go. Don't try to watch the thoughts emotions. Just let go. Recognize, let go, and be in the meditate. So only you can use first method, recognize. Then you have more ability, so you can use the second method. When emotional thoughts arise, no accepting, no rejection. Right? Then you have more ability, you have become more practitioner. So you can use third one. Third one is whatever emotional thoughts arise, watch the emotion and the thoughts. The thought emotion is released to the liberated through the wisdom. So that's the highest level. Meditators follow like that way, different levels. Here, recognize that self does not exist. It is the same as space. So self also not exist. That's why it's called the same as space. The space is only example. You cannot think about, oh, Dharmakaya means the same as space. Space is not exist. That's why it's an example only. So we cannot use any other examples. The self also not exist. That's the reason we say same is space. Then maybe we say self is the same as bearing woman's child. Self is same as like that, and then also the phenomena or the mind is the same as the rabbits or hounds. So that means they are not exist examples. It is the same as a space. That is called Dharmakaya. So no exist, emptiness, that is called Dharmakaya. So now you really, I think, understand what means Dharmakaya. So we studied this way of Bodhisattva. Dharmakaya is no exist. It's free from all the views, dualistic conceptual thoughts. So that is Dharmakaya. Not exist, no exist, no either, no neither, free from all these four extremes. So that view is called Dharmakaya. That is called Buddha nature. See, now you think about the Buddha nature, Dharmakaya means emptiness. Emptiness means no nothingness. You really understanding, your mind is not going to stuck with something permanent exist, inherently something there. So that's the reason we have to study Mayamika teaching. Mayamika teaching really helps understanding everything is emptiness. Even this Buddha nature also emptiness. So otherwise we think usually if you don't study Mayamika teaching, Buddha nature means like almost the same as thinking about, creator gods. And we talk already other religions that accept, the self-consciousness and substantial permanent, something like that, right? We already talked. So that kind of, people get. If no study way of Bodhisattva, if you don't have studied Mayamika teachings, now you have already studied wisdom chapters, you really know whatever we say, Buddha nature, Dharmakaya, you know it's not exist inherently anything. But it's there. Okay? So always present, always there, but it's emptiness. Okay? When comes logic, investigate, it's emptiness. Same as a rainbow light. Rainbow light is there. Your eye see, but you shoot the gun, you cannot, destroy the rainbow, right? So why? Because rainbow is emptiness. So like that, your mind nature is always present there, but when you use logic, same as the shoot the gun, it cannot destroy that because it's emptiness. So that's kind of, understand that way. You have to understand what we're talking about mind nature. It is clear, empty. So then we use words many different kind of ways. It is clear, is empty. Inseparable with the mind. See, the rainbow is empty. Empty is seeing. Seeing is empty. Emptiness is form. Form is emptiness. Do you accept that or no? Yeah, so like that, mind nature is. The rainbow is no nothing, because if nothing, you cannot see anything, right? Rainbow is there, you can see, but seeing that is emptiness. So same is the sunbeams also. Sun is coming into your home through the window. Sunbeam is into your home. It's there. It's clearly you're seeing sunbeams in coming into your home through the window, but you cannot hold that, right? Okay. So same like that. You use logic investigate. You cannot, like destroy our natural mind. Same is like sunbeam is coming into your home. You cannot hold. Even you use knife, cannot cut. But knife can go through that. That means because it's empty, right? It's emptiness. Knife cannot cut. Like that, logic, use logic, mind nature is not empty, not exist, empty, but always there. Is logic cannot destroy mind nature. The main point is. So same is like knife, we cannot cut the sunbeams. And so that examples, see, mind is empty, but it's clear, always there. Then clear, empty, inseparable with the mind. So we use these examples, clear, empty, inseparable with the mind. And always present, always there. So it is unconditional, means not depending any, object, not dependent cause and conditions. So that's why it's called unconditional. That's the reason also here is a self-arising. We already talked self-arising. Mind nature is self-arising. Mind nature is unborn, means because unconditional. How can born? Mind is not dying because unconditional. Free from cause and conditions. Not dependent cause and conditions. So it is free from all dualistic thoughts. It is free from dualistic thoughts. It's free from dualistic thoughts. Means non-conceptual thoughts. No subject, no object. You recognize that, then you know that, then that is the enlightening quality. So that is the enlightening mind. So then Maya Minka here in this section have two different kind, self-empty and other emptiness. So that is that tradition is in Tibet. This all the philosophers, Tibetan philosophers created that actually. In India, during this Shantideva time, they don't have these words, self-emptiness, other emptiness. They have two different kind of Maya Minka, but I think Pasanjika is the highest one. Pasanjika has, when come in Tibet, they create two different lineages, self-empty and other empties. So self-empty is what we talked here is like exactly like that, self-emptiness. My nature itself is emptiness. But other emptiness means they don't talk about self-emptiness, they talk about clarity. It's more important than emptiness. They talk about clarity and present awareness is self-consciousness is permanent. They say permanent. But then permanent has two different kind of words. So it is unconditional also actually permanent, because not permanent. Unconditional means not impermanent. But it's not negative permanent. It is permanent means like you really cannot see anything, like not like kind of a opposite of impermanent. Permanent, free from permanent and impermanent. So that is called unconditional. It's great, highest level view, but sometimes the self-emptiness, maybe depending how they accept different kind of teachers. So sometimes this self-emptiness talking other emptiness, the other emptiness talking about is very similar is Chitta Matiren. Also very similar, we talk about what is called yesterday we talked in the non-Buddhist, the last one we talked about, which one? Do you remember?
Was it Vishashika?
Vishashika?
Was that it?
What is Vishashika says?
I'm thinking.
we are in that we just only told one sentence. Yesterday we talked the Sunday we taught only one verses. Tanjimpa is a Tibetan called Tanjimpa. Okay, so you already eat, right?
Yes.
Forget.
The Vishashikas accept permanent atomic particles that create all phenomena.
Not that one.
Is it the Samkhya's?
Samkhya's, yes, Samkhya's.
Okay, they don't accept Ishvari or permanent atomic particles, but they accept the two permanent things, the all-knowable phenomena are permanent self that always exist. So not the creator, but the user of all phenomena, and the permanent primal substance.
Yes. So almost that kind of idea is this self-emptiness. you know, but this many debating, lots debating, not many, lots debating with these different lineages. The Tibetan like called Chonang tradition is other emptiness, very strong other emptiness. So then also this Chonang tradition, the lineage is more based on the Jigten Songpo teachings, looks like. Also the prayers, they also talk about in the Chonang tradition, the prayers like Chonang, the who is started the lineage, the teacher is Jigten Songpo's reincarnation, they said. So anyway, they talk about Buddha nature, lots. They also talk about this clarity, person exist. They say exist. Buddha nature is exist. But the exist has two different words. Exist is in the logically, you use logics, investigate, still they exist. Or you say just always presents there. So what means exist, right? And use like analytical logic, investigate, then still you accept exist. That is really wrong. It's almost the same as that Samkhya's religion, become. But others emptiness, if the accept is, when use logic investigate, not exist, but always there, present, that is always exist. Except if like that way, then they are okay. They are great already, So that's why it's some scholars say, they say we don't know really what you're talking about, which way you accepting exist means. So if you say exist permanently means always there, see, same as like some being come into your room and it's there, it's present, you say exist, that's okay, but that is not permanently inherently exist, right? So you can say, oh, some beings exist in my room because it's present, it's there. But you cannot say that it's inherently permanently exist. That is just permanently inherently exist, then if your knife cannot go through that. You cut your use knife, cut your sunbeam, but knife cannot go through because it's permanent exist. And no emptiness, right? So that kind of, there are lots debating in there. So main point is main point means actually the such a tradition very strongly disagree with this Chonang tradition. Gelug tradition also very strong disagree with Chonang tradition. That thing is almost the same as the Samkhyas. Some says they are almost the same as the mind's goal. Mind's goal, Chitta Materians. But then the Kaju tradition, Nyingma tradition, this mostly scholar teachers just that say it's which one is you talking about, If you're talking about your mind nature, is always there present. That's why you say exist. That's us correct. So that's great. We accept that, but we don't accept your mind, Buddha nature is permanently exist. Is using investigate, absolute truth logic. Still you saying Buddha nature is permanently exist. That's part they don't accept. So anyway, that kind of, the lots debating these different lineages, scholars. So Jigten Songpo is teaching is lots like more other empty, but other empty, like we just talked like two different kind, which one is you going to accept? If we accept like, other empty means always there, Buddha nature is. So always present. That's why we say it exists, Buddha nature. Other, all the emotions, obstacle is not there, exists. Other is all gone, is empty, but Buddha nature is always present, always be there. So that's part we Jigping Sungpo looks like his view. So that view is a great view, actually, is followed by Vajrayana tradition. Buddha nature is even emptiness, but it's always there. It's present. So we already are taught to like same as a rainbow, It's there. It's whatever you're seeing is there. It's empty. Empty is you seeing there. So empty and seeing is inseparable. Do you understand what I'm talking? Everyone okay? Okay, so then
I understand that one, but what's the other one again?
other one is self-emptiness. Self-emptiness is the same as like Shanti Deva right now we're talking in the Wisdom chapter. He don't accept anything, subject, object, or is emptiness. Shanti Deva, you think about the study this way of Buddhist or Wisdom chapter, he no mention about the Dharmakaya, he no mention about Buddha nature, anything there. So that is called self-emptiness. Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
So
can I
now,
ask a question?
yes.
What is let me see here. It's empty.
Where are you going to
Is
see
it
the
correct?
emptiness?
Is it correct to say that emptiness is beyond all conceptual limits?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That was I'm still
Yeah.
working at it.
So, yeah, so that's why here we have this kind of words. It is clear, empty, inseparable with the mind, but only we can use this kind of words. Otherwise, not possible to explain because it's beyond the words. And always present. See, it is unconditional. It's free from all dualistic thoughts. You recognize that. So then, long as you recognize that, when that is the enlightening quality, that is the cause of the three kayas. So that is the cause of three kayas. Means actually that is three kayas. Unconditional. See, mind nature is unconditional, self-arising. So that is the three kaya. Our mind nature has three kayas. The emptiness of mind is Dharmakaya. The clarity of mind is Sambhogakaya. And inseparable of clarity and emptiness is called Namanakaya. This means that the three kaya are all within your own mind. They are not separate from you. So three kaya is not separate from you. They do not arise from somewhere else. Three kaya is not somewhere come from arise. When you rest in the absolute nature of mind, so then when you meditate, you know, into your nature mind. At that time, you recognize the three kaya, and that is absolute true protection. So that is absolute truth protection when you recognize your own nature mind. That is absolute truth tara. So that is the reason you supplicate to three kayas, which really means your own absolute nature mind. Explain in a very short way how you should understand the meaning of the verses. When you are chanting, most of you know that it is logs around 2 months to share this teaching. The last time I taught it in May. So I taught this along more details in the commentary. When I use the commentary, I share this teaching, supplication, tara. Takes more than 3 months, right? 2-3 months. Yeah. So it takes about 2 months to share all of this detail and to follow the commentary. It's not easy to just use the root text and share the depth of meaning that is heard within this supplication to Tara. Of course, like if you really wanted to go more details, is then have to share each word have a lot of meanings. But this is like just basic information. Some ways very great, just be easy to get what we want something. If you go to commentary, it's too much go detail, you're going to be lost. So
Khenpo,
yes.
may I ask a practice question along this line? Is when you said the first is being aware, the second is maintaining the awareness, and the third one is recognize or something, and the fourth one is let go. I had an experience yesterday. I was reading something, and I was so angry I couldn't even continue to read it. I had to get up and pace back and forth, pace back and forth. I was not able to read it. And I realized my irritation and my anger, and suddenly I just tell myself, it's all past, it's impermanent. When I realized they were impermanent, it's not, they didn't hold me strongly anymore. And then I was able to sit down and finish the reading. But I just wonder if in a meditation, in that kind of stage, what should I do continually? Like I let go of that anger, I realized the impermanence. I don't know whether I just apply the term to let go of my anger or just really realize the past is impermanent, everything we did is impermanent. When I realized that, I let go of the anger, but I don't know what is I finished the reading, but I don't know what is in the practice term of how do I continue and make it deeper and let the wisdom arise. I don't know how the wisdom can arise.
So who made you angry yesterday?
When I was reading some material made me really angry, remind a lot of past trauma and everything. And I
you reading?
I was reading, and I was not able to continue to read. I was so angry and walked back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Finally, I looked at it and I said, oh, those are impermanent. Those are past stories. I held on to it too long. And I let go of that. When I realized it's impermanent, suddenly all the anger just dissipated. No angry anymore. And I was able to see that.
You did a good job then, Lame.
Yeah. But I don't know how do I continue to let the wisdom go and shine. Like I feel I finished that part of negative emotion, but how do I maintain that and make the wisdom come to my heart?
First create anger.
Yes,
And
I have that.
Then watch the anger.
Yeah, I watched the anger. I was walking back and forth. I watched the anger.
Then you see the anger is like, where is anger? Where is anger? You love to yourself. Where is anger? Watch the anger. Anger is not really existing, located in any place.
Well, anger was a memory of the past. So I understand the past, and I understand those are already gone. It's impermanent. When I realize impermanent, immediately I let go the anger, and the anger disappears. But
So
how do I make?
If we're sharing here, anger is going to disappear if you recognize.
Yes, I recognize it. But how do I maintain that? How can I keep the wisdom there? I just don't know.
Then you have to just practice again. When anger arises, you have to recognize what you did. That's you have to practice the same exactly.
So just keep on doing it. Keep on doing it. I cannot just like hold on to some anger and keep it in my mind. It's not there because the anger is wisdom is also dependent because something arises and then the wisdom strike it and it disappears.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And
That
we go
generated
to-
another question for me. So what do you do when compassion arises?
Compassion arises. Compassion also no accepting, no rejecting. So both the same thing, When you are in the meditation, the positive and negative, whatever arises, same thing. No accept, no reject. But in the post meditation, compassion is great.
Okay.
Khenpo,
Yeah.
can you
1
hear
minute.
me?
So finish this first, then we go to talk. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So it takes about 2 months to share all of these details and follow the commentary. It is not easy to use. Just use the root text and share the depth of meaning that is heard with this supplication to Tara. Giving you information in this abbreviated, right?
Abbreviated.
Abbreviated where it's difficult, because if we don't follow in more detail, then each of these words are very similar. Each word is directing you to look into my nature, but in different ways. So there's each verse is when you go to read and practice, like gross level is similar, but go more detail, and then they also have a little bit different ways, helping your meditation, guide your meditation. So it's generally kind of very similar. Each word talk about the non-dualistic, non-conceptual, and love to nature mind, recognize mind. So, but it's go more subtle level and more detail. It's then have more, it's words are very similar. I mean, we don't follow in more detail. Then each of these words are very similar. Each word is directing you to look into mind nature, but it's different ways. If you go into more detail, you understand in a deeper way. These different verses have different aspects, different ways of supplicating Tara. So that's already we share in also here. This verses also helps us to recognize the habitual patterns we have created that keep us in cyclic existence. So you recognize your own natural mind, and then you recognize the relative true protection and the absolute true protection. So this has two protections. One is a relative protection, one is absolute true protections. Each verses has that. This supplication Tara is a protection prayer. When people request prayer from me, I always chant the 7 verses of supplication to Tara. That feels good because I think I can help others then when I use this prayer. We are gathering together to accumulate this supplication to Tara prayer. This is the power of Sangha. Then the power of Dharma is supplication, is Yidam deity practice, Guru Yoga practice, and Mahamudra practice. So that is the reason the power of Dharma is there. Then there is the power of intention. We have a bodhicitta intention, and that is the reason we are accumulating this prayer. When these three comes together, then that benefit us and benefit others, and it also increasing the long life of our spiritual teachers, so that he may continue to benefit countless beings. Caution. I think we finish it there, right? Thank you for teaching. Or do you recommend chanting it in like English? This whether is there a rhythm or a melody or where to want that you recommend? Answer: I think whichever way is good for you, chant in the way that give you a connection to Tara and the Guru. I think English is good for you because you recognize each word's meaning. You can chant this prayer mentally while meditating on your can chant a lot while meditating. I have shared many times before that I use this prayer all the time. I mostly chant mentally because I have a deeper connection this way. Sometimes I chant quickly, Ma Chewa Mepe Chien Na Yon Jesin Hamudoma Yo. In this way, mind is not always there. Mind can be connected, but it can go away right. So when I chant slow with Machewa, maybe when the words are chanted mindfully and clearly, it means that mind is connected with this prayer. And okay, so I think it's already done. Meaning of the words are understand. These words give you the mindful awareness to log into nature of mind. Mentally chanting is this way can also be counted as accumulation too. You can also chant some length in the verses slowly and connect with the mentally, and the rest you can chant in the way that we usually chant. That also helps to connect to the meaning of this prayer. If you chant this prayer 100 times, it's great to mentally chant. It is less 3 or 4 times. So teaching is finished. No, you have any question? Yes, Lisa?
Oh, sorry, Khenpo. I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it. But what do you do if somebody, like, let's say you make a stand or you take a position on something, and you know what you're talking about and you know what you're doing, but then somebody keeps coming back at you and needling you and pestering you and trying to do, I don't know how to describe it. They just are bothering you over and over and over again after you've already said, no, I have to do things this way or I have to do it that way. And they want to just throw every little thing they can at you or complain about, oh, well, you used my bucket and is my bucket dirty for cleaning the floor or what have you. It doesn't sound like it makes sense, but I mean, when somebody just won't stop bothering you after you've said what you have to say and they just keep going and it's in a negative way.
So the two things, Lisa,
Yes.
first just have to practice patience, right? It's all the follow the, that is way of Buddhist, the patient chapter. We have to read that and follow that,
Okay.
cultivate, right?
Yes.
So that is relatively true, the practice, yeah.
Okay.
Then it's follow the meditation. It's really hard to meditate if someone does like that. You have to escape from that kind of situations.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a comment and a question.
Yeah, Lisa, so you have to go, like maybe if you want to meditate, don't stay at home, just go to somewhere where it's like parks and the nature and go. Florida has lots of beach, lakes, so go to outside somewhere.
Yes, that's very good too.
Yeah.
Fortunately, I'm at home a lot alone, so I can do pretty good meditation here too.
Yes. Okay. Yes, EDG.
Yes. I find this 7 supplications to Tara to be a great roadmap. So thank you. But I have a specific question.
Thank you to the Amanda. So she did a good job. Very beautiful. I think this helps lots.
Yes.
Yeah.
It helps me out significantly. It's a roadmap for me. I'm going step by step by step. But anyway, my question is on the absolute nature mind, the self-arisen, non-dual Buddha wisdom. Yet because of habitual grasping the dualistic conception, we are bound by it no matter what we do. So I'm saying, what are we bound by? And why can't we do something about it? So I don't understand the meaning of we are bound by it no matter what we do. What are we bound by?
So that means, like, say, we have a self-arising Buddha nature, but even we have that, all these samsaric beings still being, stuck with samsara. So that is the word meaning. Only practitioner is free from that. I mean, okay, I check the root text. We are deceived by delusive philosophical views and dharmas. Salukema, that the absolute nature of mind is self-arising, not the Buddha wisdom. Yet, because of a habitual grasping, dualistic conception, we are bound by it no matter what we do. So even we have this Buddha nature, but see, these dualistic conceptions always control us, right? Emotions control us. Whatever we're doing, so they control us. All these samsaric beings, except these realizers.
Okay, so that was what was confusing. Is we're learning what we can do to not be bound by it, and that's why I say no matter what we do, that doesn't sound right. Okay. So the practitioners can go beyond that for sure.
Yes.
Okay. Close enough. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks. I think this is more easy than commentary. The book, commentary book is more complicated, more harder. So if someone wanted to use for meditation, I think this is much better. You think so?
For me, it's perfect.
Very helpful.
Yeah. Very clear and simple language.
Hi, Gary. What do you say?
I said it's very clear with simple language, very clearly translated.
Yeah, so that's it's a Yadam deity practice. This is the Mahamudra. Actually, if you memorize the root text, I think you all have root text memorized, then you can practice all the time. They really help you guide your mind. Thomas, you have already memorized?
I'm still working on it, Khenpo.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
I think Michelle has already memorized. That's I know. Roy has already memorized. Yes, he has. Mary Lane has already, I think. Yes, Mary has already. Maria has already. David has already. Lida has already. EDG has already.
66%.
Oh, that's good. 66%.
I'm up to non-dual wisdom. Please protect us.
See, there's each verses like have just, even you cannot chant whole this 7 verses. You just chant one part of verses. Also really helpful too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So there any questions?
Khenpo, I have a question.
Yeah.
The self-emptiness and other emptiness you introduced today, that is the other emptiness is the middle way school?
Both are middle way school.
Both the middle way school, two different you mean two different way to understand the emptiness? That
Yeah, they just use words to become talk about this self-arising. So uncondition means like, then they just explain using words is different, but I don't know what they really view, what they're talking about.
Okay, both point to the same thing, but they're using different words.
Yeah, self-arising is like self-emptiness, talk about all is emptiness. But self-arising, Buddha nature, other emptiness, I thought that the two different kind could be there. You know, one is like goes perfect correction, one is maybe still there, get lost. We don't know.
And this supplication to Tara, this is the using the words in the other emptiness, right? If I understand correct.
Both.
Both.
Yeah. Both, but other empty also not the same is like this Chonang tradition except. But we don't know Chonang tradition means like there says other emptiness, but which kind of emptiness, like other emptiness they accept, I don't know. That's also debating, see. And other scholars say if you accept this way you have problem, if you accept this way you don't have problem. So then we don't know which one they accept.
Okay.
Mm.
I'm a little confused in that in there. So
It's okay, not very important.
okay.
Yeah.
Are you saying that Jonang who practiced Kalachakra?
Yes.
Okay, so they use Kalachakra uses empty form. They use that term, empty form.
Yeah, form is emptiness, but they're talking about Buddha nature.
Mhm.
Mind nature. They says word is like mind nature is permanent.
Yeah,
So then which kind of permanent? So always there, that's why you say permanent or really opposite of impermanent, permanent. Which one you talking about, right? That's the question.
Yeah. Okay. Another question is that since I'm a beginner, you talked about the yogi practice, the 3 ways, and for the beginner, it basically staying the first way that recognize the thoughts and emotions, but that also requires the steady mind, right? You have to practice the Vipassana first, right? That not Vipassana, the
Shamatha.
Shamatha.
No,
So,
shamatha, we don't use that way. Shamatha reject the thoughts, emotions.
okay, so
No, this one is we don't reject, no accepting, right?
yeah, that's a second. Second.
Yeah. Shamatha said, don't let arise thoughts, emotions, reject. So then they don't have to talk about other things, anything, just reject, focus mind with the object. No, really looking into natural mind.
Okay, that's a shamatha. That's in the shamatha step. Okay.
Yes.
And how do I know that if I practice that, how do I know that I'm ready to go further?
That's just your mind recognize what you have to do.
Okay. Self-care. Okay.
It's a thing is like also the dependent teaching, So some people like if even like ready to go to Vipassana, but only teaching is they have a shamatha, they don't know how to go into the Vipassana, right? So if you receive these all teachings, then you know which way is you can do. So you receive is Mahamudra, but you don't have to directly go to Mahamudra. You can practice shamatha still. Yeah. So then also if you can practice shamatha today, maybe like example, today morning you practice shamatha, afternoon you can practice Mahamudra. So go back and forth all the time.
Mixed practice? How?
Yeah.
In the beginner level?
Yeah, always makes it good too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll try. But this is very helpful. Thank you so much, Khenpo.
First is a good, is a shamatha is good. You know, your focus with the object, and then the mind is more stable off the object. Maybe then focus with the breath, little while, and off that, and go into don't use any object. Just mind be present, aware. Then slowly unlock to your natural mind. So meditate, and long as much ever you can stay in natural mind. If they have lots of thoughts going on, go back to shamatha again. So within 1 hour, you can go many different kind of go back and forth.
Okay. Yeah, so as
Yeah.
long as I know the road, right? So I know how to get back.
Yeah. You know the road, you know how to go back, and you know how to come back again.
Okay. That's important.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, great. Thank you so much. It's so helpful.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Khenpo, may I?
Yes.
Anyone? Let other ask first because I already asked first.
Okay. May I ask you something? In the last verse, we say the reality of all conditioned phenomena is no different from that. Why don't we say only the reality of all phenomena? Why do we need to put conditioned?
What is the conditions? Which page? What do you say?
It's the last verse, Khenpo. The second line of the last verse. Why do we need to say conditioned phenomena? We could say only the reality of all phenomena is no different from that. That's my question.
Oh, so that's the thing. Just extra. Maybe we can say that, but if we take all that also okay. So it's leave it there. Is nothing wrong.
Yeah, but all phenomena are conditioned, aren't they?
The phenomena. All phenomena has conditions, right?
Yes.
Condition is a phenomena. Phenomena all has conditions. Yeah, so that's good. We can take that. You don't need. It's okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Khenpo, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
In the verse number 5, it says the absolute nature of mind is self-arisen, non-dual Buddha wisdom. Could you elaborate a little bit on what self-arisen, how does self-arisen arising occurs? How do you recognize something that self-arises?
Because not dependent any object, not dependent cause and conditions. That's why it's called self-arising mind. It's unconditional. Mind nature is unconditional.
And where does it arise from?
So self-arising means always there. That means always there.
It's always there. So it only arises because we recognize it.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Self-arising means always there because no condition follow the conditions. That's the self-arising is if you misunderstand, it goes exactly self-permanent consciousness. But self-arising that mind is Buddhist like no exist, emptiness. It is there, but it's empty. So other says permanent. That's why the big difference there.
Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you.
How about unborn?
Unborn is that's why it's called unborn because no condition, unconditioned. That's why it's unborn.
Okay, so it's the same, right? Self-arising.
Yeah. Self-arising, unborn is the same.
Okay. Thank you.
Dharma also same.
Well, now I'm a little bit confused. Doesn't something have to have conditions to be born?
We born is because we have conditions, right? All the different conditions. That's why we have birth. But my nature is never born because it's no condition.
Okay, I hope I don't sound like a cat. Sometimes on some other streams, I sound like a cat.
Cat, what happened?
Sometimes something's happened. I don't know with the microphone or what, but I sound like I sound like a kitty cat. You can barely hear me.
Oh,
I don't know why it happened. So I thought it might have happened on here, but I'm glad it didn't.
We can hear you very loud and clear.
Oh, good. No
Yeah.
kitty cat.
We can hear you.
You don't
Thank
sound
you.
like a kitty cat. You're not purring.
okay, Laming, then know your question.
Okay, I want to ask, you have already told that the unborn and self-arising is different from the permanent unconditional or something, because it seems very close. But I actually want to ask is the practice question. When you are saying about to look at the nature of mind, what does it mean to look at the nature of mind? Because I did along with you about looking at the mind, and I couldn't find the mind, and so I don't understand.
So that is a low. Okay, that's great, Laming. Look to mind. You don't find anything exists inherently. That is you found. That's why we look to mind means like you cannot have to find anything because it's emptiness.
But it's emptiness doesn't mean it's nothingness, isn't it?
Yeah, that means like always a person there. You means like so when you meditate, you are always present.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is a self-arising. That is unconditional. That is empty. Empty is self-arising. Self-arising is always there.
But how about if I
We
couldn't
use
find the
the
mind?
word when we use the words, it's like they have a contradict because see, mind is empty. It's always there. It's clear. That means like it's contradict, but the reality is no contradiction. We don't have to words to really show for that because it's reality nature is not exist, it's emptiness, but it's always there, so only we use that word. There's no any other words to share.
Okay, I still don't understand, but we hold it there for a while. And I want to ask the second question about the wisdom. How
Yes, first to ask your question is answered like you don't understanding. That is great. Nothing is understanding there. If you understanding something, then that is a mistake. That's wrong. You don't understand. That is great.
you sound like my Zen master.
If you understanding something, then you maybe go to the nihilism thinking or internalism thinking somewhere. It's stuck there.
Okay.
So you say, I don't understanding. That is perfect. That's I want to hear.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. And my second question is the wisdom. If the wisdom is, we can cultivate wisdom, or wisdom is the result or end product of the practice. Can we cultivate wisdom, or the wisdom is naturally appear at the end?
So
That's
have many different levels, different kind of wisdom,
okay.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So of course,
the wisdom of liberation.
So absolute truth wisdom is like naturally arising through the meditation practice.
Okay, naturally. Okay.
Yeah. So other like knowledge, wisdom, we have to create, we have to study, and then this practice and study, that's we have to create, right?
Yes.
Mm.
Okay, now I understand. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, Lamin.
I-
You cannot understand what you're talking about.
Yeah, I cannot understand. Actually, I want to
Yes.
laugh. I can't because I cannot understand. But you, at least in the ritual level, you are saying that some wisdom by study and by reading and by listening to lecture. Those is like we really like study wisdom. And then the other kind of wisdom is natural born by your meditation, by your practice. And that I know conceptually, but not really understand what does it mean really wisdom. Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Hola.
everyone. Now we're going to do then dedication.
Okay.
Dedication. Curtis, read dedication, please.
Did you say me?
Yes.
Maho, in the center is the marvelous Buddha Amitabha of boundless light. On the right side is the Lord of great compassion. And on the left is Vajrapani, the Lord of powerful means. All are surrounded by limitless Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Immeasurable peace and happiness is the blissful pure land of Dewa Chen. When I and all beings pass from samsara, may we be born there without taking samsaric rebirth. May I have the blessing of meeting Amitabha face to face. By the power of the blessing of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas of the 10 directions, may we attain this aspiration without hindrance. Teata Pinsandreya Awa Bodhanaya Soha. Bodhicitta, the excellent and precious mind. Where it is unborn, may it arise. Where it is born, may it not decline, but ever increase higher and higher. By this virtue may I achieve omniscience. By defeating all enemies, confusion, may all who travel on the waves of birth, old age, sickness, and death cross the ocean of samsara. As Manjushri, the warrior, realized the ultimate state, and as did Samantabhadra, I will follow in their path and fully dedicate all the merit for all sentient beings. May the teachings of the great Khenpo Ratnashri, who is omniscient Lord of the Dharma, Master of interdependence, continue and increase through study, practice, contemplation, and meditation until the end of samsara.
Thank you, Curtis. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Good evening. See you tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you.
Khenpo.
Bye,
Good
everyone.
night, Khenpo. Thank you very much.
Bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Tomorrow.
Bye.